All right, so we're starting off with a 1 mana spell, a Fel spell, Taste of Chaos. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Finale, discover a Fel spell. I think this is quite powerful. I'm giving this one a 4 because 1 mana is very, very cheap, easy to spend. You should be able to get the finale off at any given time. So it should be pretty easy to set it up in such a way where you need that 2 damage to hit some minion and get your discover. Cheap discover can just be incredibly useful. Um, I'm not going 5 or 6 because I don't think it's quite that good, or I'm not sure DH would be something to define the format, but I'm very impressed by this card. I think it's very solid.
I think the problem with this card is that you have to discover the card at the end of your turn, and a lot of the time you want to discover the start so you can find something to do that specific turn. Like, it's really awkward that you have to do this at the very end.
Right, well, that's the downside to make it not broken.
Yeah,
'Cause it would be probably like a 6 if it was deal 2 damage to a minion, discover a Fel spell.
I just not convinced that the Fel spells are that good. What's the pool right now?
That's a better question, I don't have an answer to that.
I
Yeah.
know there's like
Surely it'll be
Ivy and
good.
Chaos
I don't
Strike,
know.
but
Are
yeah,
we
I mean the
losing
card's
some
not
important
bad.
stuff? Did we lose Fel
Fel
Barrage?
Barrage is leaving, yeah.
Oh god.
And Jace.
Maybe it's a 3. Oh
Yeah.
god.
I mean, just on principle, having to discover last feels bad. So
Yeah, but it's just setting up for your next turn. It just means that like you can do something in the early game to fight for board and then set up what you're going to do next. It's just this card isn't going to be the card that lets you discover lethal at the moment that you need it, which I
yeah,
think is like finale's a good keyword to make it that way so you can't just like break the game.
no, the card's solid. It looks like there's not that many. You actually probably get the Fell Scream Blast or whatever it's called, like 50% of the time. So that's pretty
Unleash
chaotic.
Fel.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
because of a really small pool. It's like
yeah.
Discover, Unleash Fel, one of the best cards in our
So
entire class. Yeah, no, I'm back on 4. I'm back on 4 for sure.
I'll give it a 4. Fine. I hated it.
Well, I gave it a 4 as well. I do like this. I do
Oh crap! I
agree.
feel old.
I do agree. Like the finale, there's several cards in the set that have finale and then discover something, discover a spell or discover whatever. And yeah, the finale with doing a discover feels super awkward because it is kind of right. It's like going against what you want to do, right? Like Neji said, it's kind of the unintuitive play. But I think there's still plenty of times where we've seen in games that even just discovering or doing a draw or something last is still fine. Because some turns you're like, I have to do this one thing, and then this being at 1 feels like it can kind of fill in a lot of turns too. So, I mean, even on turn 2, doing a hero power and then this seems pretty great. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, losing Fel Barrage, like discovering Fel Barrage or something from this would be great. And then, Jace leaving too. So maybe some of the Fel stuff leaving makes this a little worse. But also, it's only targeting a minion. I do feel like that's a downside. If this could just deal damage face, I would love this card so much. But it's only to a minion. I don't know. I still think it's gonna be good, especially in the 4-set meta.
I'd give it a 6 if it could hit face.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I know y'all picked 4. I'm gonna do 3. I think I really don't like having to play it last, but so I'm just gonna go with 3.
Sticking to 4. I think DH needs good early game removal tools, and then especially if you're going to search the super good card, the Fel Screen, then yeah, I think it's good. We'll go to 4.
Sweet. All right. Any other comments on this one before we move to the next card? Next card, we've got 2-mana minion, 2/3 demon. Card name is Eye of Shadow, and its ability is your hero has lifesteal. So basically, this card is like a Warblade's body, kind of. It's not bad. It's not great. I'm not going 1 at least because we got a 2-mana 2/3, which is decent stats for like the cost that we're spending. You might just drop this on 2 in some decks, but I'm calling this a 2 as a fringe. You can combo it with another card that we'll talk about later, but whether or not a 7-mana combo is going to be necessarily good enough is a whole other thing, especially when you have to have the 2 cards. This card on its own is maybe all right. There might be a way to break this card and make it like super powerful, but I don't see it yet, so I go 2.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. I agree with that too.
I'm in the same boat as y'all. I'm giving it 2.
Yep, I also gave it a 2.
Solid.
Nice.
Wait, what card are we talking?
Eye of Shadow, 2-mana 2/3. Your hero has lifesteal.
Oh yeah, agree with you guys.
Oh my gosh, we all have the
Clean
same rating?
rating.
What? Okay, that's the
Same
hot
rating
take.
across the board.
Not the 2 guys.
The
You're
hottest take, no dissension at all. Yup,
No
2.
disagreement.
Fact.
All right, on to the next card. We have this is a 2-mana spell, Security. Summon 2/1/1 Illidari with Rush. Outcast. Summon 1 more. 2. Okay, it's fine, I guess. That's all I got.
It's pretty good off Illidari Studies, which is coming back.
That's true. I forgot about Illidari Studies. I don't think that changes my rating of this any higher, but it's like I'm not sure I'd ever main deck it either. We'd need something to convince me to main deck it, and I don't think so.
Let's get with the Legendary. I'm not sure the Legendary is playable, but I think I'll give it a 3. I actually don't think it's that bad.
I don't know that I want to play this card in my deck. I don't think I want to main deck this card. Unless I'm playing like the Snakebite Turbo. I don't know. I think it's like a 1. Great to discover them.
I was
Yeah.
almost on 1 for this.
Yep. And the only reason I gave it a 2 over a 1 is that they have Rush. There you go.
They have Rush and Outcast. It shouldn't be too hard to outcast it. So 3 1/1 rushers is why I stuck with 2 instead of 1. But I could easily see an argument for a 1.
I just
It's
really
hard
don't
because
like
they
Outcast.
they also rebuff the thing, the token deal 3 damage to something. It's not a 3/1 anymore. It's a 3/3. It's like, so if that becomes good, this becomes a lot better.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it's not a 3/1 anymore. It's a 3/3. So it doesn't die as easily. I'm giving
sorry.
this a 3. So
Talking about
I'm talking about the one, the Demon Hunter card that when something died, it dealt 3 damage to something else.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so
the
they
Naga
buffed it.
Wrath
Yeah.
Scale something.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3. I think this is deceptively good with that.
All right, hold up. I just thought of something. Remember that card that just came out in like a last set of the set before, that after you play an Outcast card, you add a random Outcast card to your hand? Well, now every single Outcast card in the game costs 2 mana or less, except for 1. So that
So
card
you're
might
saying
actually be good.
Outcast DH is back? Well,
Yeah,
was it
because
ever here?
before you could like just randomly hit the 4-cost ones, which were unplayable, and then it's terrible. But now it's like, it's kind of like World Kickmaster, and yeah, it seems kind of good actually. And this says Outcast on it. I'm here for it. You know what? I'm huffing the hopium, and yeah, I'm giving 3.
Let's go. Spicy takes. I feel like
I
the
love
2
it.
things that you just said were the literal definition of fringe, but hey, that's fine. We're going with spicy.
No. If you don't think Outcast DH is a solid tier 2 deck, you're coping. Yeah, coping up.
Next card.
I'm not high on the Outcast stuff. I know some people are excited for it, but man, I'm just like, why do you want a bunch of random Outcast stuff? Nah.
Well, if we're talking about cards that are super copium, here's another one. This is a 1 for me. I don't know. There's maybe some world where this is actually like kind of good, and I'm gonna look dumb. I can see because it's cheap. Um, it's a 2-cost minion and it has rush. You can put it in like a token type deck, but it kind of has to be a token type deck for this to realistically be even remotely playable, which I don't think it is. So 1.
Yeah, no shot we're playing this card. This is like a 2017 card. Thanks. Anyways.
Yeah. This is Edwin Van Cope. I'm not playing this.
Edwin Van Cope.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm giving it 1.
It's my first one of the set so far is Snakebite here. This is the first time I actually even said the name of the card, despite, being the one who's reviewing this card. It's awful. I have no copium for this.
I'm giving it a 2. I have the hopium going. It's it's rush, so at least it impacts the board immediately. But minions dying this turn feels bad. I don't know.
Imagine, right, like a Boulder Fist Ogre, and then you play the 2 things that summon 3 rushes when you outcast, and then it's a 1 health. So then you summon the snake thing, and it's huge, but now you're killing a 6/1.
So what you're telling me is Boulder Fist Ogre ends it.
Boulder Fist Ogre hard counters.
Nice. Yeah. Any other opinions on Snakebite before we go on our next one?
No.
Oof. Okay, here we go. 3-mana spell, rush the stage, draw 2 rush minions, they cost 1 less. Wow. 1 again?
Huh?
I don't know, like it's
no shot.
It's expensive. I don't want to spend 3 mana to draw these cards. I know, yeah, tutor draws good, right? It's busted for Outcast Demon Hunter, but I don't think Outcast Demon Hunter's actually good. I don't know, like we never ever played Abyssal Depths in our deck, right? That was also 3 mana tutor draw.
Okay, this discounts them. Discount is huge.
Okay,
especially when
fair
a lot
enough.
of things they're summoning is like 1 and 2 mana.
I'll go with a 2 instead of a 1 because of the discount. But I don't think it's a card I want to run.
Okay, think about it this way. Think about how many good rush minions will be in this deck. There's the 1 mana 2/1 with rush that makes your next outcast cost 1 less. There's Sigil Run. Wait, Sigil Runner, not Sigil Runner. The Walloper, the thing that gets discounted when you play more outcast cards. Like you're gonna get the 5/5 rush down really quickly in this deck. There's really good synergy, and yeah, I mean the fact that it just discounts them too. You can make your 1 mana guy 0, so that when you play the thing that gives you outcast cards, you already have a 0 mana proc for it. It just seems insane. Like 3 mana draw 2 with discounts for free. Like I don't know why it says cost 1 less. I feel like it should be like outcast costs 1 less, but it just costs 1 less. I think it's kind of insane.
Yeah, maybe I just really don't like Outcast DH'd and the support being printed kind of clearly, it seems, for Outcast DH. I'm not a believer, so I think the deck is bad, so I think the card is bad because of that, but 2 seems enough for me for this one. Tutor draw with discount, of course, can wind up getting broken, but for now, I don't like it.
I might ship a 5, Loki.
Nice.
I'm not gonna go quite that high, but I'm giving this a 3. I still like this card. I mean, 3 mana, draw 2 specific things is great. You get a discount. And I think that this, I mean, even ignoring the outcast stuff, I think over its time in standard, I think this is gonna be played probably in a couple of different Demon Hunter decks. Like, I could even see you doing this with some other rush minions, like I'm a big fan of the Inquisitors, like, discounting and making those 7 maybe is a thing. And at some point, I don't know. I love Inquisitors, but I think that this is something that we've seen similar in other decks and it's been used, right? Like other classes have had 3 mana, draw some minions, and it's been solid in those. And I feel like this is similar. Yes, it's specifically rush minions and not just minions, but I think it's still decent.
Fair.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Celiacs on 4. Let's go. It gets a 4.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about
Celiacs,
I
yes.
forgot about Ziliax.
that. It's insta 5.
Oh, man.
There you
Culture.
go.
I have to
Oh,
go
like I have
up to a 3 because I forgot about Ziliax.
Oh,
Perfection.
celiacs.
Beautiful.
It was kind of amazing. Okay, but any other thoughts on Rush the Stage?
Let's rush to the next one.
Sweet. All right, so we got a 4-mana weapon, 4/2. Glavetar. Death Rattle, draw 1 card, play Outcast cards while equipped to improve. I mean, they're really pushing Outcast DH pretty hard. This one, I would even consider like regularly running without much in the way of Outcast at all. It's a weapon. 4 mana, 4/2. We might even try to justify in any deck just to hit him in the face with it, because it's ultimately 4 mana, 8 damage. But the Death Rattle can get really broken, especially in a deck designed around it. I'm going with 4 on this one. I like the card quite a bit. Might actually make me compromise and play Outcast Demon Hunter because of this, but even in a regular DH deck, you're usually playing at least a couple Outcast things here and there that you might randomly pick up, and this getting to draw you even like a couple cards after already spending mana to do some damage seems pretty good.
Yeah, this card's crazy, especially in the Outcast deck. Like, you can easily play a couple Outcast cards while you have this up, and I mean, 8 damage plus draw 3 on the backswing for not much investment seems kind of insane. Probably give it a 4, maybe a 5. I give it a 4. Yeah,
I'm
fine.
looking for them.
We're fine with them both. I don't care.
Yeah.
What are you giving it, Kraken?
I'm giving it a 4. I think it's extremely strong. There's not much like there's a lot of cards that like you can like discuss about is it strong or not. This just seems too easily good not to be good. It makes that that weapon that refilled your hand if your hand was empty or whatever. It made that weapon put to shame. So
I think this is a 5. I would play this without any, like, with just Illidar Setis in the deck. I feel like that's enough. I
Nice.
think it's really good.
This is a 1. No, I'm totally kidding. No, this is great. This is a 4. I just wanted to see y'all's reaction.
I heard like
Yeah,
the home
mine.
improvement sound in the back of my head. The huh?
Yeah, no,
My
this
finger
card's great.
Fast. Never.
Yeah, we agree. Strong weapon for sure.
Yep.
All right, on to our next card. We have a legendary minion. 4 mana, 4/3 with Rush. Alvaria Dark Raven. After a friendly Rush minion attacks, give your minions +1 attack. I honestly, I don't know how to evaluate this card. It could be extremely good in token type decks. I don't know if token type decks are actually like all that good. It certainly makes security a lot better. Um, I'm just gonna go with 2. I'm like borderline, and you know what, 3. I'm gonna go with 3 because it does have Rush. 4 mana, 4 attack Rush with some other effects that you can use might not be too bad. It's a permanent buff as well on your minions, so I can't see it being better than a 3 unless it has like some significant additional support that I'm not seeing, but it seems okay.
It's a great card to discount from the Rush the Stage as well. But
True.
I agree. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it's solid, but not anything crazy.
I don't know. I mean, this card makes me want to completely change my rating on Rush the Stage and go to 3 on Rush the Stage because I can just put this and Ziliax in my deck and
Yeah,
have a
you just
3 mana Halvaria and a 4 mana Ziliax.
coin rush the stage and then play this on 3 and then play Ziliax on 4. Chilling.
I mean, I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of cases where this card becomes just like easily better than Savage Roar sometimes. Like it's already one across the board at adding damage, and then if you just have if you have one more creature attacking, it's a Savage Roar basically, almost. So you have like one more. You have like two more creatures plus this. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna give it a 3 also.
I mean, some of these cards too, I guess we have to take into account Relic DH does still exist, and that is something that could potentially just cost 0 off of Relic of Dimensions. And then you've already made like a big wide board of phantasms. And then if your opponent has a single minion up, you play this and buff all the other things and smack them in the face for a lot.
Yeah, I just want to point out Kraken's Magic history coming out there. You can always tell who's played Magic when they call them creatures instead of minions.
Oh, dadgummit, yeah. I'm so used to it. Yeah,
I know. I love
minions, my bad.
I love it. It's okay. You know, we all have like multiple card
it's
games
the
that
emo
we
theme,
play.
okay?
It's-
You know, they're wolf people. I mean,
That's
it's
alright.
creatures.
I don't know. I'm giving this a 2. I do think this is okay, but I don't see it being played in like multiple decks. I really don't. I think people really just want to try playing this in like a 1 or 2 select decks, but for me, I'm like I don't see everybody trying to play this. It does impact the board, at least just on its own, even if you're not giving your other minions plus attack, which I think this is that's something. You know, there were cases where we saw a similar sized body, right, with like the Cariel 4/3. It had a Divine Shield, which made it a little better, but sometimes you'd play that even without getting discount for holy spells. So maybe this has a somewhat similar effect, but I feel like this is just a little bit more requirement heavy. And without the Divine Shield, I don't think it's quite as strong.
Right on.
I can see it. I like the art. She looks sick.
Art looks really cool. Kind of want to craft this card golden just
Me
because it
too.
looks
Ooh,
cool.
Yeah.
I'll probably wind up doing it.
Ron, Golden Demon Hunter cards? No shot.
Right.
What?
All right, our next card is also a 4 mana minion. This one here, 3/6 in stats. Instrument Smasher. Whenever your weapon is destroyed, equip a random Demon Hunter weapon. Has incredible synergy with the very next card that we're about to talk about and can even curve into it, making it, I think, like so much better when it comes to evaluating the card itself. On its own, I'm not impressed. It couldn't be that great just because it doesn't do a whole lot, but I mean, I guess even the stats being what they are and equipping something like a Warblades into like you break the Warblades on 4 and then you get to re-equip another random thing. It's just the range of weapons is also dramatic. You can get garbage or you can get something broken. But I think it's good enough to give it a 3 because of some other support things that we have and the busted weapon that just got printed that's coming out this set. 4 mana 3/6 in stats can be pretty difficult to deal with on that turn against non-rogue classes.
Yeah, you kind of always get a good weapon. All the bad weapons rotate out. You get either the one that gives you an outcast, which is the worst one, which is probably the weapon that you're destroying in the first place. And then you get Magnifying Glaive, Glaive Tarp, the Scythe, Bone Glaive, or Flame Reaper, which are all solid, especially if you high roll Flame Reaper randomly. And yeah, 3/6 is solid for 4. I'm not convinced it's that good though, still, because I don't think it's that easy to have a weapon. Um, so I think I'll
How
give it a 2.
often, just as a thought experiment, how often
Uh,
does this get removed immediately?
I think
Like,
you need to have a weapon that you're breaking like that turn.
well, like even if you don't,
If you
because of the
don't,
card we're literally about to talk about next, how often does this get removed on 4 to prevent your turn 5 play?
like half the time.
But I mean, well, you are right. You do actually have to have the weapon equipped. So, but if you do, if you do have a
If you
weapon,
do, Pog.
yeah,
I'll give it 2.
I
Yeah,
can't. I'm sorry. This is a 1. So bad.
aw,
I don't think I can
Aw.
go
I
to a
can't.
1, but I kind of agree. I think you have to do a lot of setup for something that I feel like a lot of decks can just. I mean, they'll either just trade stuff into or end up killing themselves, and I'm gonna give it 2.
I tried with some hopium there.
I
I
mean,
heard you huffing over there.
okay, like having a weapon equipped, then playing this, and then doing, I'm guessing it's the next one, the going down swinging. Like if you can pull that off, that seems awesome. That's cool. But otherwise, it's like, I don't give a crap about this.
Yeah, it curves pretty insanely with like a 3, 4, 5.
I think this card is good. I think it's good. You just, I mean, never mind. Actually, it's kind of crap now that I look at it again.
I feel that.
That was like a couple
Because, like-
seconds of hope there, and then Itachi was like, never mind. Nope, crushing those dreams.
Because you attacked already. Like, to break the weapon, you attacked already. Like, now you gotta wait for the next turn and hope you high roll the way. Like, fuck that. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah, I'd high key the sucks. I'm giving it a 1.
All right, well, let's talk about the next card that is the reason I changed from a 2 to a 3 for this card. And that is 5 mana spell, legendary spell for Demon Hunter. Incredible art and flavor, the name of it. Oh my god, just hits all the points. And the card itself, pretty impressive. Give your hero +2 attack and immune this turn, then attack each enemy minion. If you don't have a weapon equipped, just on its own, it is a 5 mana consecration. If you do have a weapon equipped, you're probably breaking that weapon, which is what makes Instrument Smasher so good to continually like give you additional weapons over and over, and you can play this first and then you can hit face with that +2 attack. Demon Hunter has multiple attack buffs. The hero power itself means it could be a 6 mana 3 damage to everything, and then you also get to go face because you should probably be clearing this. I'm borderline 5 on this, but I'm going to stick with a 4 because I'm not sure, again, how incredibly strong Demon Hunter itself will be.
I really like the synergy it has with Dispose. Like,
Yeah, Dispose of
yeah,
Evidence,
really good.
2 0 mana cards. Like, you could be main decking those. You have to put some stuff back in your deck. There's a significant downside, but it is +8, right? So +8 to the entire, to deal damage to the entire board and also get to hit face.
Yeah. And if you just have 1, I mean, 5 damage to everything is also good.
Right.
Yeah, there's synergy with other things too, other weapons. Maybe you run Eye of Shadow, Copium, and then you have Lifesteal. But yeah, seems solid. I will give it a 3 or a 4, probably a 3.
I give it a 2. I think it could be a 3 though. Easily be a 3 or better. Just that it's a 5 mana at base consecration that could be better. Like, it has the potential to be better, but it requires like a lot of setup to be significantly better. And I don't really think that the setup is worth like what you're gonna do with it, because like if you've got your weapon equipped and you're a demon hunter, you probably want to kill your opponent. So like you want one of those charges to go to face. If you've played the 4-mana 3/6 and you had the weapon and the 3/6 lived, you could have played any other card and you probably would be in a good position still. So like you're probably winning that game anyway if you're that far ahead. So I don't see the combo thing is cool where you do like the continuously changing weapon. I just feel like whatever card you're playing on 4 that your opponent has nothing to take care of, then I mean you pick a better card, I guess. I don't know.
And I mean, there's also a different combo that this enables, which is interesting, which is Eye of Shadow plus going down swinging to get a big like remove their board and heal. But is that any better than just spell damage plus Unleash Fell, which we already have
Yeah.
access to, right? I love going down swinging as a card, but I don't think it's like an Eye of Shadow combo type thing. It's just a different way to potentially have a really powerful board clear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give this thing a 2, I guess. I don't think it's that great, but I do see where it can have those turns that be really good. So I'm going to give it a 2, where it's going to be in some decks, and some decks might just run it as a 5-mana 2 damage to everything, but we'll see.
You know what? I was on a 2 for this, but you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, it's a 1. Like, I just hate this card. Okay, this card
Almost on
would
1.
Give a
feel.
Demon Hunter hater.
Dude, I just don't. I'm not impressed with these cards. Like, I love Demon Hunter actually now. I did not like Demon Hunter for a while when it was first out. Then I started liking it more after aggro DH became a thing. This card, I don't know. I want this to hit face. Like, you need them to have minions, and if their minions have more than 2 health and you don't have a weapon, you're not clearing their board. It feels super situational, and we're losing the Kurtrus hero card. This would be fantastic with Kurtrus, because then you just buff up your demons really high and all that, but I don't like it.
We got one last Demon Hunter card to review. It is a common minion, 5 mana, 4/3, Guitar Soloist, and it has a battle cry. If you control no other minions, draw a spell, a minion, and a weapon. I don't love it too much, just for the fact that I don't feel like Soloist is a thing that belongs quite so much in Demon Hunter. But it's reasonable. It goes in like the slower Demon Hunter decks, and it drawing 3 tutored things is pretty insane. The minion itself doesn't have rush, so you're spending a lot of mana on something that doesn't do anything there. So it's essentially like 5 mana, draw 3, develop a body. It's okay, because you could be drawing very specific things that you need. I'll give it a 2. If the minion had rush, I'd be at a 3. I don't know. We've often run like the 5 mana spell, because mainly you can discount it to 3 on the turn that you actually play it, instead of like spending 5 to draw 3. The fact that you get to pick what you draw is good, but I feel like you're falling pretty far behind if you're playing this card for like real mana cost in most of the times, and it doesn't have a great home. Huge potential upside though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm giving it a 2.
I was on a 2, and I'm bumping it down to a 1. I just really, I'm just really not impressed with these cards.
Dragon
I mean,
Rider's hating on Demon Hunter this set.
I am. I mean,
She just doesn't like emo. It's okay. Not everybody likes emo.
Nah, you know, there's emo done right, and then there's these. So like, I don't know. The kind of similar, there's a couple things that I think of. We had something like this for Hunter that did something similar, or you discovered. That was garbage. Like, nobody played that. Also at like the 5 mana in Hunter, also you had Barak Kodo Bane that drew a 1/2/3. That was so good. That was played in a ton of decks. This is like the same mana, worse body, and it's more situational because you can only get that effect if you control no other minions. Like, it just, no.
Yeah, the body's really bad. Like when you compare it to Kodo Bane, especially for Hunter.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it a 1.
I converted. I converted people.
I'm
I
only
just-
on the Outcast deck, and this does not go in the Outcast deck.
Yeah, I mean, mainly just to me, it's just like it feels like an effect like this would work in so many other like classes, and this is just not one of them. So
The
Wait.
the thing I can see this best in is something like a new version of Relic Demon Hunter, and I don't think
maybe.
Relic Demon Hunter really wants to play this. Sure, you'll be pretty happy with it, I guess, if it was one of the things you hit with your discount off of Relic of Dimensions, so that you could play it for free and draw 3, but you already drew a bunch of cards. So is that even something that would go in that deck? Like, man, um, two's the best I can go for. It
This
might
is
be a
the
one.
best warrior card ever printed. But warrior
Warrior
can't have
wants this
nice
so
things.
bad. Warrior can't have it. If
This
Warrior got
card,
this card, it would cost 7 and require armor.
I think it's a 2, but it does a lot of stuff. But it's a 2.
Yeah, does a lot of stuff. Might be good at some point later. The specific tutors, if there's one particular weapon we really need, if there's one like really important minion or some, I mean, I don't know. You have to draw multiple, or you have to run multiple spells and minions. So let's move on.